Hey Bougie click. Are you sick of dealing with dusty energy and disrespectful what are you doing? 12 a.m. texts. Are you tired of the same old dead-end Netflix and chill offers or coffee dates with zero effort? It's time to change the game in casual dating. High standards aren't off-putting, they're attractive to the right guy. Learn to distinguish genuine intentions from weak interest and adopt the mindset that you are the prize. Get ready, because we're dishing out straight-up wisdom with a no-nonsense attitude. Hit subscribe, leave a comment, and like this video if you're done with mediocre dating and ready to elevate your standards. Let's get into it.
I'ma make you a fan.
Discover why being easy makes you a magnet for low-value men. Netflix and chill used to be code for casual connection, but now it's become the default first date. Instead of men planning something intentional, women are out here accepting a half-hearted invite to sit on someone's couch and pretend it's quality time. Sis, that's not dating, it's discounted access. No effort, no ambience, no real investment. When did dinner turn into microwave popcorn and a wrinkled blanket? That's not romance, it's convenience in sweatpants. When women treat low-effort gestures like premium experiences, they teach men that bare minimum is enough. A lot of modern women have traded mystery for convenience, handing out emotional labor and physical access like party favors without making men earn a seat at the table. The chase is dead and buried, replaced by late-night texts answered instantly, dates accepted with minimal effort, and boundaries blurred for the sake of not being difficult. Meanwhile, men stroll through relationships on cruise control, barely breaking a sweat. When selectivity dies, so does quality. Modern women have gained independence, power, and status, but somewhere along the journey, many started confusing access with empowerment. In a world where dating apps have reduced connection to swipe-right speed dating, the concept of qualifying a man has become laughably outdated. A man looks good? That's enough for some women to hand over their time, energy, and body with zero verification of character. When the baseline becomes he's hot, every manipulative, underdeveloped man suddenly has access. And why wouldn't he indulge? The women are doing all the work, initiating, pursuing, tolerating disrespect, and sticking around when their value is clearly being undermined. It's not shocking these women attract low-value partners. They're offering high-value intimacy to men who haven't demonstrated anything worth investing in. High-value men don't want women who say yes to everyone. They want a woman who says prove it before they say sure. They admire discernment. Standards. Self-control. When a woman offers herself before he's shown depth, consistency, and vision, he doesn't think, wow, lucky me. He thinks if it's this easy for me, it's been easy for everyone. High-value men know their worth. They want a counterpart who knows hers too. Modern women have been sold a lie dressed up as liberation. Somewhere between swipe culture and don't catch feelings, many started treating relationships like networking events, casual, effortless, and void of standards. And what do you get when you make yourself accessible, available, and accommodating with no barrier to entry? Low-effort men. Low-investment men. Low-value men. Mislabeling promiscuity as power. Autonomy over your body is a beautiful thing. But there's a dangerous narrative out here, one that insists promiscuity equals empowerment. That giving everyone a piece of you somehow reflects confidence. It doesn't. Boundaries are powerful. Standards are sexy. Real self-worth? It's knowing not everyone deserves access to you. Too many women confuse numbness with liberation. They think emotional detachment is freedom, when really, it's exhaustion disguised as strength. That unbothered attitude often masks disappointment and a total loss of romantic discernment. And here's the hard truth, low-value men love easy, promiscuous women. Not because they admire them, but because they're easy to manipulate and discard. These men thrive on quick access and minimal effort, but they never take you seriously. They use women who are emotionally checked out but never choose them for anything real. Unlike women, most men have strict standards when it comes to commitment and respect. They'll entertain you, but they won't elevate you. If giving yourself away to anyone who flashes charm, money, or a jawline feels empowering, sis, it's time to re-examine that definition. Power isn't in being available. It's in being selective. Money isn't a moral compass. Let's talk about financial independence. Yes, it's incredible that women are earning their own money, breaking glass ceilings, and running empires. But money doesn't cancel out consequence. Too many women are operating under the myth that success somehow shields them from emotional wreckage. That because they don't need a man, they're entitled to bypass vetting one. Having your own bag doesn't mean every choice is consequence-free. If anything, high standards should become stricter as your worth multiplies, not more lenient. A man shouldn't get access to $1 million woman with dollar store behavior just because she's convinced her success erases his shortcomings. Handsome and paid? Still low value. Low value doesn't mean low income. Some of the most toxic men walking around are stacked with cash and have six-pack abs to match. They're handsome, charming, and financially loaded, but their character? Bankrupt. And that dangerous cocktail of wealth and looks? It's got modern women folding faster than lawn chairs at a barbecue. These men know exactly how to play the game. They flash the lifestyle, offer surface-level affection, and suddenly women are bending all their rules. Standards that used to mean something vanish in exchange for a dinner at Nobu and a ride in his Benz. Women who used to hold boundaries get swept up in the fantasy, and next thing you know, they're doing mental gymnastics to excuse behavior they'd never tolerate from a broke man. What's worse? These men don't have to chase. They're handed everything on a velvet pillow: respect, access, and even adventurous bedroom energy that wasn't part of the original package. Women take pride in being different for him, trying harder, doing more, and exploring things they wouldn't even consider otherwise. And he knows it. That's the hustle. And it's why the disrespect hits different, because you gave him everything and he gave you crumbs. Rich, attractive, low-value men don't elevate you. They extract from you. And the higher your tolerance for nonsense, the lower your return on emotional investment. Money doesn't equate to value, not in character, not in emotional maturity, and definitely not in how a man treats a woman. Yet modern women have been conditioned to equate financial abundance with relationship worth. They see dollar signs and suddenly forget that narcissists, manipulators, and emotional wreckage can also come dressed in designer. When women drop standards just because a man can fund a lifestyle, they invite low-value behavior wrapped in wealth. These men know they're desired for their resources, and they exploit it. They treat women like acquisitions, not partners, and the saddest part? Many women tolerate it. They let disrespect slide if it's followed by Chanel. They accept cheating and gaslighting as long as it comes with a luxury vacation. They're mistreated, but stay, because the man provides. Provision doesn't excuse poison. You can't build a healthy relationship on a platinum card. When value is defined by assets instead of integrity, women end up emotionally bankrupt. Because no amount of money replaces peace, reciprocity, or respect. The art of the chase still matters. Men still like to chase. It's embedded in their psychology. It's not about game playing or withholding, it's about making sure he's serious. That he's not just around for convenience or aesthetics. The thrill of pursuit activates effort. And effort is a metric of interest. When a woman hands everything over on a silver platter, her affection, attention, loyalty, without making a man earn it, the man takes it for granted. Not because he's cruel, but because humans undervalue what comes too easily. If you let a man cut the line, skip the interview, and sit in the executive seat without qualifications, don't cry when he trashes the boardroom. Stop making it easy, the cost of convenience. Modern women have unknowingly turned romance into a clearance aisle. Convenience has become the currency, and sadly, it's costing them quality. Dating used to involve effort, intention, and genuine pursuit. Now, a swipe, a WYD, and some inconsistent attention gets a man access to emotional, physical, and psychological benefits he hasn't earned. When standards plummet, so does the caliber of man attracted. The ease with which women give time, energy, and intimacy has created an environment where low-value men thrive, because there's no barrier to entry. The emotional overdraft, investing without demand. Too many women act like emotional investors in relationships where the man barely has a debit card. They give empathy, encouragement, loyalty, and even future plans before he's shown basic consistency. Meanwhile, he's still operating on hope, vibes, and whatever YouTube podcast told him he's a high-value man. This kind of generosity isn't noble, it's expensive. Emotional labor without reciprocation trains men to expect reward without responsibility. Instead of elevating him, it enables his mediocrity. The no-challenge culture, where effort went to die. Many women want love but refuse to apply pressure. They're afraid being too much will scare him off. Spoiler alert, if confidence, standards, and boundaries scare him, he was never equipped to be there in the first place. Men rise to challenge. They fall to convenience. When everything is offered with zero resistance, time, loyalty, intimacy, there's no reason for him to strive. Why build when he can rent? Romantic welfare, giving upgrades to starter men. There's a dangerous trend of women trying to build a man rather than vet one. They offer wife benefits to men who haven't even graduated from boyfriend basics. Cooking, cleaning, emotional availability, endless patience, and he's still showing up late, lying about his intentions, and treating her like she's lucky to have his half-baked attention. High-value women become low-value targets when they forget their own worth. Starter men shouldn't get luxury treatment. Stop treating attention like currency. A good morning text shouldn't buy access to your body. A dinner date doesn't earn exclusivity. Basic decency isn't a green light for deep emotional connection. Women have to stop acting like presence equals promise. If he hasn't proven reliability, your availability is misplaced. Men respect boundaries. Low-value men exploit the lack of them. The pitfall of ease. A man who doesn't have to try will never appreciate what he gets. When women offer exclusivity without requiring excellence, they're teaching men that mediocrity is acceptable. There's no vetting. No standards. No mystery. And certainly, no room for high-value behavior to emerge. High-value men don't take shortcuts. They thrive in the presence of challenge, complexity, and self-respect. They're wired to chase what feels rare. When they see a woman who makes it all too easy, emotionally, physically, socially, they don't interpret it as confidence. They interpret it as desperation. Or worse, boredom. Why low-value men flock to easy women? Low-value men aren't equipped to compete. So, they look for women who don't require competition. They seek out the ones who treat attention like charity, giving it freely and indiscriminately. Easy access signals to these men that you don't know your worth, that you're hoping any attention might grow into love, that you're available not because you're selective, but because you're scared to be alone. And they can smell that fear from miles away. Mystery isn't manipulation, it's self-preservation. Holding back isn't playing games. It's making sure someone is worthy of what you're giving. Easy women skip the vetting process. They confuse availability with intimacy and mistake attention for connection. But intimacy requires effort. It's built, not gifted. Modern women who make it too easy aren't just attracting low-value men, they're turning off the very men they claim to want. What high-value men think about easy women. High-value men aren't dazzled by availability. They're assessing, discerning, calculating. To them, the easy woman isn't just low effort, she's a walking red flag. Here's how they break it down. Scenario 1, the instant infatuation. She meets him at a party. They talk for 20 minutes. He compliments her once, and by sunset, she's texting paragraphs, posting about the one, and sending thirst traps. What he thinks, she's obsessed with attention, not connection. She barely knows me. If she's like this with me, who else gets this treatment? High-value men register impulsive emotional availability as immaturity and insecurity. It signals a lack of discernment. They want a woman who is selective, because that means her time, energy, and body are valuable. If your attention is for anyone who breathes in your direction, theirs won't linger. Scenario 2, the fast-track physical access. She skips the getting-to-know-you phase and dives headfirst into physical intimacy. No standards. No vetting. No pacing. She's upfront about being sex-positive, but it reads more like validation-hungry. What he thinks, she doesn't value herself. She's using physical access as a placeholder for genuine connection. If she doesn't protect herself emotionally, how can she protect anything else? High-value men aren't intimidated by sexual confidence, but they are repelled by recklessness. They interpret premature intimacy without emotional depth as short-sighted and dangerous. They ask themselves, if she gives this away so quickly, what does she hold sacred? Scenario 3, the do-it-all girlfriend. Without the title. She starts cooking meals, planning dates, running errands, and playing emotional support, all without exclusivity. She's giving him the girlfriend experience without a relationship. What he thinks, I didn't earn any of this. She's performing for scraps. She'll tolerate ambiguity just to be chosen. This screams scarcity mindset. High-value men don't want to be spoon-fed luxury they haven't earned. It cheapens the reward. They want a woman whose efforts match his strategic, intentional, reciprocal. Anything less feels like manipulation or desperation. Scenario 4, the chronic responder. She answers every text instantly. Cancels plans for him. Never has her own schedule, boundaries, or life. He becomes her entire orbit. What he thinks, she's clingy. She has no life outside of me. I can't respect someone who doesn't prioritize themselves. High-value men respect autonomy. They see a woman who maintains her schedule, goals, and boundaries as someone who will challenge them to grow. A woman whose life revolves around theirs feels smothering, not supportive. Triangular flag low standard/easy woman behavior. Constant availability, always reachable, even when it's inconvenient. Weak boundaries, bends herself to fit his needs, neglects her own. Premature intimacy, gives physical access before trust or respect is built. Overcommunication, bombards with texts, shares personal info too soon. Commitment without effort, lets him skip the proving phase entirely. Lack of discernment, accepts attention from anyone who's interested. Orbiting his life, ditches her goals and identity to cater to his world. Emotionally impulsive, reacts instead of reflects, easily overwhelmed. Overgiving, performs the role of a girlfriend without reciprocity. Oversharing, mistakes exposure for intimacy, lays it all out too fast. Gemstone high-standard woman behavior. Selective availability, protects her time and energy like currency. Strong boundaries, says no when needed and doesn't apologize for it. Intentional intimacy, waits for emotional investment before getting physical. Measured communication, doesn't overshare or overtext, she paces herself. Effort-based access, expects consistency before commitment. Discernment in dating, screens for alignment and emotional maturity. Autonomous lifestyle, keeps her schedule, passions, and independence intact. Emotional maturity, responds with patience, not impulsivity. Balanced reciprocity, matches effort, never gives more than she receives. Mystery with substance, unfolds slowly, with intention and depth. Raise the price or keep paying in heartbreak. It's time to stop calling lowered standards liberation. That's not freedom, it's abandonment of self. Every time a woman settles for a man who doesn't match her energy, morals, or ambition, she makes it harder for the next woman with actual standards. She reinforces the delusion that effort isn't required. Men will rise or fall to the level of what's required of them. So, ask yourself, are you setting the bar or letting it sink under the weight of good looks, sweet lies, and flashy distractions? The women who require nothing get exactly that in return. Raise the price or keep paying in heartbreak. It's time to stop calling lowered standards liberation. That's not freedom, it's abandonment of self. Every time a woman settles for a man who doesn't match her energy, morals, or ambition, she makes it harder for the next woman with actual standards. She reinforces the delusion that effort isn't required. Men will rise or fall to the level of what's required of them. So, ask yourself, are you setting the bar or letting it sink under the weight of good looks, sweet lies, and flashy distractions? The women who require nothing get exactly that in return. The takeaway, easy isn't power, it's permission for disrespect. You can't expect high-value results from minimal effort. If you seek a man who is driven, intentional, and deserving, don't treat him as if he struck gold on the first day. Allow him to earn his place and demonstrate his intentions. Moreover, refrain from viewing promiscuity as empowerment, it merely lowers the standards. Elevate them instead and observe the transformation that follows. For high-value men, easy does not equate to confidence, rather, it conveys carelessness. It suggests that a woman is motivated by a fear of losing rather than a recognition of her own worth. It communicates, I'll do anything to keep you, instead of here's what you must do to earn my affection. Therefore, if you aspire to attract a man who acts with purpose, commands respect, and values excellence, understand that being easy is not the path, maintaining high standards is. Thank you for tuning in to today's discussion on the importance of maintaining high standards in relationships. If this resonated with you, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content that empowers and inspires. Remember, knowing your worth is the first step to attracting the right kind of energy into your life. Keep your standards high and your circle strong. See you in the next video. What do you think? Do easy women attract low-value men? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie. Follow and support me. All links in bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check description for more info. New episodes every day.